It was a sunny afternoon in Pensacola, Florida, when the emergency calls began pouring in. Callers reported a shooter inside of a Home Depot. The incident had been brief. Shots were fired and a young woman was collapsed on the floor. Multiple witnesses watched as the shooter ran from the store.
So how many somebody say got dropped? A young female that got dropped by a male. Adult female? Okay, how many people did you see or heard?
Deputies from the Escambia County Sheriff's Office responded within minutes to the location on North Davis Highway. Deputy Sam Shelley was amongst the first on scene.
17497. Multiple people outside confirming shooting down by the garden center.
The shooter's gone. The shooter's on hand up. Who got this door?
What was he wearing?
I just see a real blue shirt with two
light faded blue shirt, stripes down the side. White male ran back toward Davis Highway. Go ahead. Is there any victims I need?
There's a victim down on 52.
52.
Victim out 50 sharing traffic.
He ran out. She's gone.
174 confirmed signal 7.
There's multiple shells.
Yep, we're just, yeah, because we got tastings. Don't kick them, please. We're over. At that point, we're just.
That's deceased?
Yeah.
Hey, let's clear on out here.
Yeah.
18-year-old Brooklyn Sims had already passed on by the time first responders arrived. Brooklyn worked for a company contracted by Home Depot to conduct inventory. She was performing product counts on aisle 52 when the shooter appeared to have targeted her specifically. Responders found 2 other employees who had been working near to Brooklyn also sustained injuries from the shooting. In the aisle, products from the shelves had been knocked to the floor. Scattered amongst these items were 9mm shell casings, 6 in total, into 3 projectiles. It was unclear at that time how many shots had been fired. The autopsy would later reveal that Brooklyn had been struck at least 7 times. There were 29 gunshot wounds recorded, including entry, exit, and graze wounds. These were sustained on her head, shoulders, torso, and back, some of which showed evidence of firing at close range. The entire incident had been over in a matter of seconds. Just outside the front store entrance, deputies spoke with co-workers and other witnesses, seeking a description of the shooter to disseminate as quickly as possible. Brooklyn's supervisor, Sheila, cried out to officers for information, then paced around the entrance before wandering off into the parking lot.
I saw the guy run around the corner. He had on a blue jacket, black male, 25 to 30. 6'1", slim build, he had a Glock 19 in this hand running. When I saw the Glock, I'm like, oh shit. I started out across the
So black male around in his 20s, 6'1", Glock
mostly
19.
blue with white stripes on the sweat jacket, the workout jacket, zip up the front workout jacket. Knew I should have hit the car.
It's none of this your fault. None of this
Should have hit the car. Does anybody want to go and look at the exact where he ran in case he threw the gun?
Yeah, we got a million people. We got dogs. Yeah.
Only minutes after the shooting was reported, the Pensacola Police Department notified the sheriff's office that they had found a firearm on the side of the roadway on Davis Highway, just north of the Home Depot. It was a Glock 19. A single round of ammunition was nearby. Scratches on the handgun suggested it had been thrown from a vehicle, landing close to the sidewalk. Testing would later confirm a match from the firearm to the bullets that killed Brooklyn Sims. At the Home Depot, the store was cleared of shoppers, and witnesses gathered in the parking lot. More than one of the inventory personnel was in close proximity to the exchange between Brooklyn and her shooter when the murder occurred.
I'm on aisle 1. They were on this way. Hurry, so I don't recognize. I heard him looking down at her because she'd been down. He said, "You think I'm playing with you?" or something like that. Like he made comments. "You think I'm playing with you? Or you think I'm talking to you?" He made that type of comment. I loaded and he just started shooting. That's it.
He kind of walked up and it sounded like he said one word and she turned around and
Did you see him shoot?
it was within like 10 seconds.
Okay.
I didn't hear her say a word before she had turned around and she started shooting.
Okay. So not much of a conversation. Maybe he just said a couple words.
He said a couple words or one sentence and she was.
There was one witness on scene in a unique position to provide insight to the investigation, Brooklyn's distraught supervisor, Sheila Agee. Sheila was very close with Brooklyn. Indeed, she considered her to be a daughter. Brooklyn was the sometimes girlfriend of Sheila's son, 20-year-old Keith Agee. The two shared a 15-month-old daughter.
Do you know her well at all? Do you know if she has?
I know.
Does she have a baby daddy?
Yeah, my son is her baby daddy.
Your son is her child. Have they been having issues?
No.
Okay, what's your son's name?
Keith.
Are they broken up?
Oh, they hadn't been together years.
But they have children together.
One baby. They hadn't been together since the baby was born.
And they don't have any issues? Blackmail your son? No? Okay.
The deputy escorted Sheila and the other key witnesses out of the direct sunlight to the shade where they could formally record their statements.
I need your name, social, date of birth.
That is when Sheila appeared to pass out.
EMS, somebody, EMS. Come here. Hey. All right. Okay. All right. Now, someone get somebody now. Hey. Breathe. It's okay. We're getting EMS, honey. Okay. Just relax.
They're coming.
All right.
Sheila was treated by AMAs and eventually taken away by ambulance. As such, she offered no further statements to law enforcement at the scene. Investigators would speak with her later, extensively.
Her son has a child. I know, it's a lot.
Investigators would not require the help of Sheila Agee to identify the killer. The supervisor's son, father to Brooklyn's daughter, placed a call to emergency services only minutes later to turn himself in.
I'm trying to turn myself in.
Okay, where are you at?
Pensacola, Alabama.
Pensacola, Alabama?
Yes, ma'am. I don't know what street I'm on.
What are you trying to turn yourself in it for?
Ma'am?
What are you trying to turn yourself in for?
I made a mistake. I don't know.
Oh, no, you're fine. Just calm down. We'll get someone to help you.
Man, look, I do my gun. I don't have a gun, but I just want them to see you. I can't.
Okay, you're fine. Or are you at a business right now?
Can't be trying to tell me in front of the IMAX. That's what
You're at the movie theater?
That's what it is.
Okay, are you in the parking lot of the movie theater?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in the parking lot by myself, and no cars around me. They'll see me if they pull over here.
Okay.
Officers found Keith Agee alone in a silver Nissan Sentra in the center of the AMC movie theater parking lot. He had removed his shirt to show officers that he was no longer armed. After running from the Home Depot, Keith had fled down the roadway, parked in the lot, and then wandered to the nearby woods, walking through a creek, before deciding to turn himself in.
What body of water did you go through? Was it that way or was it that way? It was that way? Okay. And that's close to where the car's at?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go walk over here. Have a seat in the back side of my car. Go ahead and move all that stuff out of the way. Bo. I'll just throw it right back there and we'll put it in my trunk. You good?
Okay, all right.
What we can try to do is,
Well, help us we want to understand, but before that,
how about we start with just your name? I don't even know who I'm talking to. How can I understand if I don't even know who you are? Right? So do who I am? Yes, it does. It does too, because I don't want to be talking to no stranger.
Nobody cares about me. Nobody gives a fuck.
How can nobody give a fuck? We don't even know who your family is. Be able to tell anybody.
They don't care.
Keith told investigators that he and Brooklyn had an on-again, off-again romantic relationship. They had never lived together but shared a baby daughter, Casey. He acknowledged that his temper had caused problems between them in the past. Their arguments would escalate until he broke objects: her cell phone, a window, a piece of furniture. Brooklyn had a restraining order against Keith for this reason, but had nonetheless spent time with him recently. In fact, the two had spent the previous weekend together, playing at being a family, Keith said. They were on good terms. That is, until that morning when he received a phone call from the Greater Mobile Urgent Care, notifying him that he had contracted gonorrhea.
I just wanted to know if she gave me the STD, which I knew she did. Just wanted her to tell me. Just tell me so I can keep it in, so I can calm down.
Because I'm putting the pieces together. You didn't have one going in, did you?
No, sir.
Instead of verifying the incubation time of his STD to verify whether he was likely to have contracted it from Brooklyn or another partner, Keith determined that he knew she had given him the disease, and he was angry. Brooklyn was staying at a hotel while her contracting company performed inventory work in Pensacola. Keith began calling to track her down. Keith explained that shortly after receiving the call from urgent care, he finished work at the Calvert Steel Mill in Alabama, drove home to pick up his handgun, and then got on the interstate to Florida. He made one stop in Loxley, where he contemplated what he was doing and whether he should continue. He did. Still dressed in his work attire with reflective stripes across his back and arms, he was captured on store surveillance. It appeared that he walked directly to Brooklyn's location on aisle 52. Only seconds passed before he was caught running from the aisle, the shots already fired. He had confronted Brooklyn about the STD. She had brushed him off, he said. Turning briefly towards him, she stated, "Oh, not this again," and returned to her count. A co-worker laughed. Keith fired. When Keith was arrested in the movie theater parking lot, he left behind the shirt that he had been wearing when he committed the murder, and his cell phone. After offering a confession to investigators, the 20-year-old was informed that his phone would be searched. He knew exactly what they would find on it. Wearing a sheriff's jacket provided to keep him warm, Keith called Officer Little back into the room. Then he offered one final admission. He had to lie to them earlier. Detectives searching his phone were about to discover that he had been messaging his mother earlier that day, telling her that he was on his way to kill Brooklyn. "Oh, I had texted my mom before he..." "You text your mom?" "What, I text my mom before he..." "Okay. Okay. Into... I got phone. I got open. I hit. I was like, when I see it, oh... I was like, you know what I do? I was like, I shoot somebody in front of police and get away. Let's talk shit. Now she's come back to me at once, and that was today. You text for that? Gotcha. 3 days after the murder, following the extraction of Keith Agee's phone data, deleted text messages with his mother revealed the extent of her involvement in the murder. Beginning at 10:37 a.m., exactly 2 minutes after Keith received the results of his STD test, he reached out to her. The exchange lasted 2 hours until 12:40, roughly 40 minutes before police would be called out to the Home Depot. At first, Keith sought confirmation from his mother that Brooklyn was with her in Florida, stating that he would shoot the mother of his child upon their return. "She ain't do nothing but cost me money and gave me a disease. I'm finna just shoot her," he wrote. Instead of talking her son down, Sheila agreed to tell him when they would be driving back to Alabama, stating, "I'll tell you when we get close, but if you don't come kill her, you're a MF bitch." Then she suggested that he not wait until they were back in Alabama. He should just drive to the Home Depot and kill her right away. After all, if he shot at Brooklyn when she returned, it would likely be in front of their child, and there was a chance that Sheila herself might get hit. "Don't shoot at my MF car. I don't want to die," she wrote. Surveillance of the front entrance of the store captured Sheila during this period, watching the entrance, presumably for her son, as well as pacing, routinely pausing to type on her cell phone. Hell, if you're getting off work now, I'll give you the address here, and you can ride over here and do it. Send it to me. We're just in Pensacola. I'm on the way. Send it. Just being real, I'm tired of her trying to fuck me over and then play like I'm overreacting or crazy. As the exchange continued, Sheila decided to offer some perspective. At about 11:45, she wrote, "You willing to give up your life and your baby daughter's life and hurt your family over a bitch? But don't worry, I'll make sure she know Brooklyn gave you something that you had to get a shop for, but you didn't love her enough to give a fuck about what happened to her. She wasn't important enough, and you had to prove a point. Anyway, give me 10 minutes, I'm gonna give you the address." Over the following 40 minutes, they continued to discuss the shooting. Keith sought confirmation from his mother that she had not warned Brooklyn that he was coming. Sheila swore to him that she said nothing. "I swear, I ain't called no law or told her nothing." She also asked him to delete the text messages from his phone. On the same day these messages came to light, investigators from Florida traveled to the Washington County Sheriff's Office in Alabama to speak with Sheila Agee. To produce a recording of the interview, they improvised by placing a body-worn camera on the table.
What was your involvement in what happened on Friday?
About when you happened? My whole involvement in what happened. Keith texted my phone and he said that he was gonna, his thing come back, they could Brooklyn something, but he was gonna let it go, and that's fine.
Would it surprise you to find out that the text messages on Keith's phone weren't deleted between you and him?
Between me and him? I mean, I'm surprised.
It would surprise you. Would it surprise you that I have 32 pages of your text messages?
Oh, that was right.
Do you want me to read some of those?
Maybe you can. I mean, you can. If you want to, so.
As the messages were read aloud, Sheila grew defensive. She told detectives that after her son sent the first message, she told Brooklyn about it, who then reached for her device. As a mother, Sheila claimed to be de-escalating the situation. But Brooklyn, she said, was responding and making things worse.
Hell, if you're getting off right now, I'll give you the address here, and you can ride over here.
It had to be Brooklyn. I would never.
And do it so that you don't have to do it in front of Case.
I would never do that. But I understand where your hands.
Why would Brooklyn send that message?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, hold on. Here's the problem.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what you've told us thus far is that, well, Brooklyn took your phone.
I didn't think she took it.
But then you're texting him. Now, conveniently, you're only sending the messages that make you look good.
No,
hold on, let me finish. You're trying to talk him out of it, and then you want to come back with when there's the messages that say him talk about shooting, and then also, oh, Brooklyn's got my phone again. So you guys are just scanning the phone back and forth.
No, I'm sorry.
Well,
I know
that's what you're saying.
I know
that's what you're saying, because you're acknowledging a text message, and then when the one that comes up that's bad, no, that wasn't me, that was Brooklyn. So that what you're saying is, because he's reading,
you're right.
So what you're saying is, you and Brooklyn are standing there, back and forth.
Sir.
Bear in mind, we got video.
I'm saying no. That we're not sending that back and forth.
You never had a clue where y'all were at, other than you were in Pensacola. And even if you did, do you know how many Home Depots there are in Pensacola? I mean, he could have driven around all afternoon trying to find y'all, and probably never gotten there.
I'm sorry.
But you shot the address right to him. Come on, come get her. After I've called you a bitch for not doing it, after I've told
I swear to God, I didn't do that part.
Okay. Come on.
Okay.
So again, we switched back the phone back and forth. So it's me texting, it's her texting, it's me texting, it's her texting, it's me texting, it's her text. The flow your story doesn't hold water because the flow doesn't make sense.
Sheila was confronted with the evidence of her involvement in the murder, suggesting the time and place, providing Keith with the address, encouraging him, failing to warn Brooklyn or law enforcement during the nearly 2 hours it took for her son to arrive, and finally, lying on scene to detectives. Sheila was left offering just one explanation. She did not believe that Keith would actually do it.
You don't come up here and kill this bitch.
No. I did not know he had a gun.
He told you he was going to shoot her up.
He said that.
He said, if my mom will open the door, if she won't get out of the car, I'm going to open the door.
I thought you was talking shit. I thought he was talking shit. He talks shit like that all the time. And then that's when I went to
guess what? He wasn't talking shit.
Sir, I did not know that. I did not know that.
I don't think I'd have taken a chance, but me.
I understand that, sir.
While Keith Agee was indicted for first-degree premeditated murder, his mother was also charged for the killing as a principal to the crime. Both were held without bond. Brooklyn and Keith's young daughter was placed in the custody of Brooklyn's mother, Cornelia. Keith Agee stood trial in December of 2023. Of course, he could not deny that he killed his ex-girlfriend. He argued instead that he did so in an act of passion, not one of premeditation. If convicted for the first-degree murder charge, he would receive an automatic sentence of life without parole. A second-degree conviction would give him a chance of release at some point in his life. Keith took the stand to tell jurors what he was thinking and feeling that day. Despite a mountain of evidence displaying his contemplation of the murder hours beforehand, he claimed that when he eventually set eyes on Brooklyn in aisle 52, his anger subsided. He became awash and calm. At that point, he could have walked away. That is, until she dismissed him. In that split second, he decided to act.
I was enraged until I arrived on aisle 52. When I got to aisle 52, seeing Brooklyn brought sort of a sense to me, brought me back down to earth. You know, being hot the whole way there, driving mad, seeing her kind of brought me back down to earth. So I remember pointing out my finger. I never got close enough even to touch her. I said, "Hey, you gave me something." And she said, "Not this again," and turned around and proceeded to walk off from me. I've never been so mad in my life. What happened next? I pulled my firearm from my waistband and I proceeded to shoot Brooklyn.
Keith Agee was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison. Though it had no bearing on the legal proceedings, after the verdict, State Attorney Bridget Myers-Jensen provided documents to the judge showing text messages between Sheila and Brooklyn from several days before the murder. Brooklyn had forwarded a picture from a doctor's appointment on August 5th. Her message confirmed that she did not have an STD. Only later would Keith acknowledge that he had been physically intimate with at least one other partner within 2 months of his test results. The state's case against Sheila Agee was not quite as straightforward as that of her son. After all, it was Keith who made the decision to kill Brooklyn and made the drive to Pensacola with the intent to do so. Sheila's trial took place in November 2024. The jury deliberated for nearly 6 hours without reaching a verdict. A mistrial was declared. The reason given for the judge's decision was a juror misconduct. One juror was accused of routinely playing a crossword puzzle during testimony. This same juror could not reach a consensus with the others, leading to heated debate and assertions by 2 jurors that they felt unsafe during deliberations.
Well, I didn't know that was a bad thing. I did not do it. I do that when I concentrate. I have something and I'm listening. You couldn't see the bench or the witness stand very well because it was dark. But I could hear it. I was listening and that's just the way I do. I just do that. And I had no idea. And then when they told me that I wasn't supposed to do it, I stopped. And then today, when we went in the jury room, I had another crossword puzzle. It became obvious to me right away that I was in the minority, like a minority of 1 against 11 people.
A second jury sat to hear the case against Sheila Agee in August 2025. The defense asked the jury to consider why Sheila would have wanted Keith to kill Brooklyn. The grandmother's motive was elusive. By almost all accounts, she thought of Brooklyn like a daughter. In addition, entangled with her conversation with Keith that fateful day were texts that warned him of the negative impact his actions would have on his young daughter. She warned him that his future would be in prison. Though if those scattered sentiments formed a partial defense of her actions, Sheila still needed to explain everything else.
Ladies and gentlemen, she guided her son like a missile to its target.
Every text, everything she's doing is to stop this from happening. Again, she doesn't believe he's coming. He's the kind of guy that says these things constantly, puffs up things that he blisters, and that's him. We're here to say today that everything Sheila did was not with an intent for anything harmful to happen. And that's the key to this case.
Keith testified in his mother's defense. Though he told the jury in his own trial that he made the decision to kill Brooklyn only in the final moment before he reached for his gun, he told the jury in Sheila's trial that there was nothing she could have done to stop him.
No, sir. I have my own mind, and once I have something set on my mind, I'm kind of stuck to it. So the way that they played out was the only way that they could have played out. She could have not stopped me. No physical words, form, any type of way she could have prevented this. She did the best of her abilities. I feel that she did as a mother, knowing me, try to deter me and stop me.
I have no further questions.
Keith's cross-examination was brief and to the point.
That day of the homicide, when you came to Pensacola to kill Brooklyn, you didn't know where she was until your mother told you, correct?
Yes, sir.
That's correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay. When it came time for the 52-year-old to take the stand, Sheila began by explaining conversations that she held with Keith prior to that day, when she had succeeded in calming him down.
Brooklyn went to the doctor. And I mean, they don't show that, but she did.
Mm-hmm.
And it come back as a vaginal bacteria. She did not have gonorrhea. I mean, I'm not going to lie on my baby. She did not have that. And I text that to him. And he's like, oh, well, Mom, I'm so sorry. Tell her I'm sorry. And I was like, Keith, you tell her you're sorry. You know, you're the one. And he was like, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna do this anymore. I'm gonna grow up now. I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna be a better person for Casey. And
Sheila's explanation of the 2-hour exchange leading up to Brooklyn's killing was confused. She attempted to walk the jury through each message, struggling to detail how her unconventional approach to dealing with her son was meant to dissuade him from committing murder. She may have appeared to be encouraging or supporting him, but she never intended for Brooklyn or anyone else to be harmed. The jury deliberated for just under 3 hours before finding Sheila Agee guilty of first-degree principal premeditated murder. Her conviction, like her son's, carried a mandatory minimum sentence of life without parole, which the judge imposed immediately after the verdict was reached. Cornelia Sims addressed the court during the sentencing phase. She told the judge of her loss. She also spoke of sadness for her granddaughter, who was growing into the spitting image of Brooklyn and had lost her mother, her father, and a grandmother in a single, completely avoidable tragedy.